Hello and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. On today's show, we'll take a look at the history and tradition of Ferris State Tennis. We'll also discuss the great sports moments of the past decade here in Bulldog history, and we'll have a look at the men's basketball recruiting class with the head coach of the Ferris State basketball team. We'll start first, though, with Bulldog Tennis, joined by head coach Mark Doren. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
I know we've had a chance to catch up with some other coaches this fall, and kind of like them, your program's no exception. Certainly a unique and challenging time here this fall.
Yeah, very unique. But I think we're taking it with a great attitude and fighting through it and excited for what the future might hold.
Obviously, Bulldog Tennis goes back many years, back to the early 1980s when Ferris State really started establishing a strong tradition in tennis. And I know that's something that's important to you as you try to follow in the footsteps of some of the great tennis players and coaches that have been here in the past.
Yeah, it's very exciting, and it's to be able to talk and teach the tradition and the history to our students and our players to, kind of know what they're trying to represent. It's been very exciting, and we're very rich history with success and on and off the court, and I think that helps build a program. It helps for recruiting, and it kind of helps everywhere.
Over 40 GLIAC championships combined, I think, between the men's and women's programs, 40-plus NCAA tournament appearances, and I know those are some important goals that you still have to this day and age.
Yeah, obviously the GLIAC championship every year is our number one goal, and we've been very successful, and we're looking to get back on the winning side of the women's team. With 23 GLIAC championships before, but we're trying to get add another. It's been a while, and they're getting close, and yeah, I think that it's something that's exciting to go after and build onto that next regional and NCAAs and farther on, and I think they're ready for it.
As someone that came to school here at Ferris State, graduated from the program, and now back here in Big Rapids, what was it like maybe seeing all that success when you were here?
Yeah, it's so neat to be able to have the opportunity to grow up near here. I grew up in Cadillac, Michigan, so just close. So even when I was younger in middle school and high school, I was coming down to matches, and I got a good taste for what this school had to offer. And then now I'm seeing it throughout while I was just an alumni and now as a coach, and I think it's been fantastic.
Obviously, the professional tennis management program here at Ferris State as well. How important has that been maybe to the success of the men's and women's tennis programs?
Yeah, it's huge because it gives us another avenue of marketing for our program, for the team. And it's great, for me to be able to, sell that to a young adult that is maybe unsure of what they want to do for the future, but, they love tennis. And the PTM program offers that ability to continue their tennis career. And, it's great. I think right now we have 8 players from our men's women's team that are part of the program. And it gives a lot of support for our program, too.
Obviously, in the 80s, when it was kind of started by Scott Schultz, the women's team won 162 consecutive GLIAC matches, I think, at one point. The men's team, 77-plus. And obviously, it's kind of changed since that day and age. It was Ferris for a long time, then Ferris and Northwood, and now it seems like everybody's really competitive here in the conference.
Yeah, it's become extremely competitive, but it makes for better tennis. I think some of the other schools in the conference have started to reach out internationally. There is quite an international resurgence amongst Division II tennis, and so everyone's getting stronger. But it's made for some fantastic tennis, and I think that it just makes us want it even more.
How important is maybe the resources, the success you've had been due in part to the support you get from obviously the PTM program, the Racket and Fitness Center, and how those work hand in hand?
Yeah, I mean the resources that we have here at Ferris are probably one of my top recruiting aspects. To have our own indoor facility is very rare, and then to have the support of the PTM program, and just in general, it gives us a national name. If you take the top 20 teams in the country every year, usually about 90% of them are from Texas, Florida, and Georgia, and we've been in that top 20 for many, many years. So for us to be able to have that success comes because of all of our resources.
Obviously, here in recent years, the men's team especially has really kind of restaked the claim on the GLIAC, or been one of those top teams and top contenders year in and year out in the conference. And certainly, if you can win the conference, you have a chance to go on in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, our conference gets a lot of respect because it's been deep for the last so many years. So our chances of making the NCAA tournament without a GLIAC championship are still good, but having that championship really establishes us as a top seed and really gives us the energy moving forward.
I know there's a lot of loyal support from maybe some past alums that have been through the program. How important is that for your current student athletes to see that support from a lot of the alumni that have been through the program?
It's huge. Our alumni are fantastic, from being able to answer questions of maybe possible future Bulldogs to supporting, and just even within the town, that we get a lot of support. Not many high or college tennis matches have huge crowds, and we get huge crowds. And I think that's just because of the success that they've had and just the love of the sport that there is in the community and from our alumni.
How influential maybe have been some of the past coaches that have been through here? We mentioned Scott Schultz, one of the early founders of the PTM program, and someone that's very involved in the game of tennis.
Yeah, what's really neat is past coaches that even have gone on to coach at other schools are still extremely involved. I talk to many of them, on a weekly basis, and they want the best for Ferris still. And even though some of them become competitors, they still have a lot of support, and they're always looking to help each other. And if we can't sign someone, we maybe push them to them. If they can't sign one, they push them to us. And so the support has been fantastic from the previous coaches, and especially for myself. Just for the leadership that they've given me, and been able to give me some tips here and there to be able to have some success.
What are your goals kind of moving forward, I guess, as you try to carry on that tradition, and obviously some big shoes that you have to follow here that have been here in the past?
Yeah, obviously there's been some extreme recent success from 2016. The men's team made the Final Four. Really looking just to continue and still build, but continue the success on the men's side, but to get the women's side back to a national powerhouse that they were in the 80s, 90s. I think that we're on the right track, and the girls believe in themselves, and they believe that they can get there. So I think that our goals are, like we said, keep it simple. Just start with the GLIAC championship and to be able to contend for it. But I really think that we're going to expect more in the very near future.
I know we mentioned before we came on air that the GLIAC championship has kind of changed here with the men and women playing in the same season here in terms of the conference schedule from this point forward.
Yeah, so just this past May, it was voted on amongst the coaches and then the athletic directors within the conference. For the past 30 years or so, the women have played their season in the fall, but then their national championship portion is in the spring. So we had decided that since our conference has gotten so strong, and we expect to do a lot of damage in the NCAA tournament, we want to be peaking at the right time. So our women and men will both be moving to the spring season, which 99% of the rest of the country is in both men and women in the spring. So we're excited for the move.
Well, Coach, thanks for being with us here today, and congratulations on all the success, and hopefully we're back to normal here in the very near future.
Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.